All right, welcome back to another episode of the Prep Football Junkies here on StateChampsNetwork.com. It's Bernie and the big fella back again, round 2. We were gone for over a year, but now we're back together here at State Champs. I couldn't be happier. I know the big fella.
Absolutely.
This is awesome, man. This is just
back.
great. I fell in love on Friday of week 1, going to see Catholic Central upset Muskegon. They got a sophomore quarterback that came into his own in the second half, and I'm predicting this kid could be a future D1 field general. And it didn't just shock me, and it didn't just shock the fans. I talked to some of the coaches. It shocked them. He looked so good in that second half. Had some growing pains in the first half. His name's Theo Day, 6'5", sophomore, big arm. He's got some moxie. He's got some nice touch on his passes. Just looked really composed and with a lot of command back in the pocket after brushing off some of those first half nerves where they didn't score any touchdowns. Second half, he scored 2 huge touchdowns. Had a pretty much the biggest play of the game, in my opinion. They were down 12-0, 4th down, 4th and long, and he hits a beautiful score to Alex Bach. They're all everything slot back. Let's talk about a guy that I saw on Thursday, the true opener for the season. Dakota put a whooping down on Division I state champion, 2-time Division I state champion Clarkson. They unveiled a quarterback in senior Tony Patrico.
Now, I wasn't there, but what was surprising is how well that entire team seemed to play from start to finish. I know I wasn't there, but I was seeing updates, and for him to really go up against the 2-time defending Division I state champs, I know they've lost a lot at Clarkson, but it's still a very good team, and he really seemed to be able to feed off that running game, and that really allowed him to settle in, and I think that was key for Dakota.
And then just a quick note for Dakota fans also, they got a backup quarterback that threw a touchdown that looked pretty good named Brett Drosky, so you might see a little 1-2 punch there, the quarterback, but Patrico I think is going to be the one with the baton most of the year. Let's talk about a freshman, maybe the best freshman quarterback in the state. Some people are claiming he could be one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the whole country. Sam Johnson, we saw him against, from Southfield, we saw him play against De La Salle, we saw them play against Cass Tech, and they lost pretty bad. But I think Jeff and I both are consensus that Sam Johnson is as advertised. He's big, he's fast, he's smart for a 14-year-old quarterback. He was 12 of 18 for 117 yards, I believe. But I think Jeff and I both are of the opinion that the stats maybe, or the performance kind of exceeds what the 27-0 score was.
Right, and you have to look at it. It's a freshman quarterback going up against one of the best Division I teams in the state for a number of years in Cass Tech.
And the defense that's just loaded with Division I future talent.
Oh, absolutely. Look at what those defensive backs are. And I know they threw a lot of short and intermediate route balls, but they got him comfortable. They got him throwing to the flats, throwing some very intermediate patterns, and I think that really got him comfortable. And you could see, it's never comfortable going up against a team as good as Cass Tech, but for as well as he did to only have 6 incompletions and to seem like he had a very good grasp of that offense, you also have to look at that's an offense that's still breaking into a running game that doesn't have Matt Falcon, who's out for the year.
Over on the west side of the state, East Kentwood, they came east, played Farmington Hills Harrison, quarterback Evan Mayday. It was Mayday all fourth quarter there for the Harrison Hawks as Harrison came back, tied the game, I believe 28-28. Mayday let him down for a game-winning score.
Yeah, then that's what's impressive for a guy that's stepping in as the starter. Probably one of the biggest situations he'll be in all year long.
And that team is just full of speed, and for him to take advantage of.
Yeah, and that's just what he did. He stepped in. He seemed calm, comfortable, and to lead a team on a game-winning touchdown drive with 40-some-odd seconds left. That's really impressive for a first-time starter. You usually see that from guys as they go deeper in the season, as they get more acclimated into their team. And you got to give credit to that East Kentwood coaching staff for not, running the ball and trying to run out the clock and play for overtime. They believed in Mayday, and he stepped up in a big way and led them to a win.
Let's close out with 2 guys stepping in for some really, really huge shoes over at Clarkson and Brother Rice. Anthony Reiner at Clarkson, Johnny Tracy at Rice, stepping in for arguably the best quarterback that program has ever seen. State champion, multiple state winning championship quarterbacks, both at Clarkson and DJ Zazula, who's off at Wayne State, and at Rice, Alex Malzone, the human highlight zone over in Ann Arbor. Believe me, he will see the field before it's all said and done, and really impressed, like I've been saying. But so Johnny Tracy at Rice, Put up some decent stats.
Right.
Was just under siege the whole game from a Chicago Brother Rice team down in Illinois. I think he took like 9 or 10 sacks for the whole game. So I think he'll get his footing as the season goes forward. Reiner struggled for most of that Dakota game, but again, I don't know if you're gonna be facing on a regular basis teams that have defenses as ramped up as Dakota. So,
right. Tracy for Brother Rice going up against the Chicago Brother Rice team. That's one of the best teams in the state of Illinois.
They both had very unenviable tasks, not just filling the shoes they were filling, but in trial by fire, jumping in the deep end of the ocean on week 1 of your first start.
You look at some of the matchups that there were, and a lot of these quarterbacks had tough matchups. But Tracy and Reiner stepping in for the arguably the best quarterbacks in those programs' history, and then to go up against those type of teams and those just vaunted defenses,
juggernaut defenses.
That's really tough for them to deal with. So there's the expectation and pressure filling in for basic legends for those programs, and then they have these tough defenses to face. That's a tall task.
Yeah, I think they're both going to get better as the season goes forward, and I doubt Clarkson and Rice are as down as you saw in week 1. As my grandpa always told me, a team is never as bad as they look on their worst day and is never as good as they look on their best day.
Right.
So that's the big fella and Bernie here. This is our second episode. We love it. We love state champs. We're excited to be back here. We're talking about quarterbacks. Next week we got some more coming at you. It'll be week 3. Prep Sports Junkies out.